Good morning, namaste. My name's Leanne Peters. I'm from templeofbalance.com.au, Temple of Balance on Facebook and Temple of Balance on YouTube. And I'm here to share some guidance for Friday, but also to create a little bit of a healing space, a space to support and hold you and create some energy to help you at this time. I feel inspired to come in tomorrow on Saturday and share the guidance for the weekend. So I'm just doing this guidance a little bit differently than usual. Good morning, Rose. I am wonderful, feeling great, thanks. I trust that you're feeling good. Hi, Michael and Deb. Hi, Claire. Yeah, I'm feeling fantastic, thanks. I trust that you're feeling good. Hi, Angela. Oh, I'm patting the cat if you see all these long hairs flying across the video here. Hi, Lily. Hi, Deborah. Namaste. Hi, Martin. My stepfather's watching. Hello. Hi, Alison and Joanna. Good morning, Mimi, and Jerry's here. Hi, Shirley and Natasha. Lisa's here. Hi, Lisa and Rose. And Judy says, good morning to you. Alison says, lovely sunburst over your head, is it? I can't actually see till I look at the recording. Hi, Cindy. Thanks, Rose. Hi, Rosie and Ron from California. Christine's here from Cornwall. Hi, Ralph and Tammy. Good morning. Hi. Thanks, Lily. That's a lovely thing to say. So this will be a little bit different to normal. Oh, first of all, I will be using my healing energy cards, and I'll be pulling a card for Friday the 13th of April. If it's not Friday for you yet, you can think of this as guidance in advance if you like, or please refer back to my Wednesday video for Thursday's guidance if you're still experiencing your Thursday. But I am creating a bit of a healing space today, so I'll be pulling a healing energy card. I'm going to smudge in just a minute with my smudge stick, and I've got my drum here. I don't know if you can see it, perhaps on the corner. So I'm going to be playing the drum a bit today as well. So I'm just going to trust when I feel that time comes and get it out. Now the cat's lying right here where I'm about to light up my smudge stick. So again, if you see a big puff of smoke, it's probably the cat going up in flames. But no, I'm moving it over here to the side. I think she's okay there. So I trust that you're feeling good. I'm going to smudge first, and then we'll pull a healing energy card for this space today, and then see what we need to do and talk about. Yes, thanks, Deb. Oh, great, Alison, you're going to smudge as well. That's fantastic. So basically, I'm just lighting this smudge stick now, down here out of the breeze. We're just going to be smudging to help clear our space inside, really, our internal space. So mentally, stuff we might be overthinking about, negative thoughts we may have been thinking a lot of lately, worry or stress, things that are occupying our mind, also anything that's holding us back emotionally at this time. Also, if you're experiencing physical pain or physical things that are taking place at this time, then you may also like to use this smudging time or this healing time to help sort of breathe out and let go, surrender, or let your hold go on that stuff that you're holding on to inside. So especially mentally, emotionally, or physically. So take a nice deep breath and allow this sacred smoke, or imagine this sacred smoke washing over your body and carrying away with it everything that's holding you back, everything that's filling you up inside that doesn't need to be there. Like I say, mentally, emotionally, or physically. You may like to imagine this sage, this sacred smoke, going inside you and clearing everything out that's not needed now. All that unwanted stuff, clearing you out like you are an empty cylinder. So take some really big, deep breaths and think about letting go of the old stuff and breathing in the new stuff, or the new air. And you can use this time also to bring yourself fully into this space. So if you're busy at the moment and you don't feel that you can be here the whole time, then perhaps come back and connect later to the replay if you want to. But if you have the time, if you have the next 20 minutes or so available, and this happens to have come at the right time for you, then perhaps think about now bringing all of yourself into this space. So that means anything that you're thinking about or planning, or people that you've been worried about lately, see if you can bring all that energy that you've been sending out, bring all that back and all into your body and into this space now. So you can be fully here and fully present, which will allow yourself to experience what you fully need. So just take some deep breaths and settle into your body. And we'll see what we're going to do. Hello, Nikki. And Christiana says hello. Shelley says, had a couple of rough days, but today much better. Well, that's great. As long as things are improving, that's the main thing, isn't it? We can put what's happened behind us. Sometimes we start a new day afresh. Hi, Rose. Rose says, I have to go. This live reading is repeating everything you say. Oh. What, a malfunction? I hope it's not I trust it's not a malfunction. But anyway, have a great day. Thanks for stopping by. So let's pull a healing energy card for now. This is for Friday the 13th of April, or for this moment, if it's not quite Friday for you yet. I trust that you've been led here for a reason. So just take on board what feels right and let the rest go. So what do we need to know as a group, as a collective, now? Good morning, Tina. Ron says it's working fine. Wonderful. Hi, Jessica. Hi, Scene and Shelley. Oh, dear. Okay, the best card for Friday the 13th for this healing space that we're creating is this, which is what? Oh, card 16, Recenter. So I'll read this bottom part and then we'll talk a little bit more about this. It says, let go and allow flow. Step into alignment with the flow, or with your flow, or we could say with your natural rhythm and how things are moving for you at this time. Welcome the new into your life. Awaken your feminine beauty, emotions, and physical connections. So this talks about going with the flow and really considering at this time where we may be trying to swim upstream in our life, or trying to control things to be a certain way or control a certain outcome, or where we're just perhaps driven in a way that's not in our flow. And really considering, at least during our time together today, how we can first of all find that flow, or find our natural rhythm, if you like, or the stream, the river of our life or our flow, how we can find that and then dive into it or get into alignment with our flow and then bring that into our life a little bit more. So if things have been met with obstacles or challenges, or you just feel like you're chasing your tail, or you're swimming upstream and you're really exhausted lately, then you might not be in the flow. You might have stepped off or out of that flow for a little bit. And it's not the end of the world. It's good to acknowledge that and then take some steps to get back in again. So, recenter, find your flow, let go, and allow the flow in, but also allow yourself to welcome the flow into your life. What is that flow? How could you best describe it for you? Does it feel like a river, a stream that you're being kind of enticed to or called to? You know, sometimes there's a lot of things I find for me personally that make up my flow. One thing that's really important is how my body feels. So if my body's flattened or in pain, I have to work around my flow with my body. And sometimes that can be a bit challenging, especially in moments of really intense pain, when we're just very much focused on our body and really trying to manage that pain or what have you, or whatever we're dealing with physically in our body. So our physical body is a huge part of whether we're in our flow or not. And allowing ourselves really to perhaps accept or find ways to embrace what our body's going through so that we can move with it. If our body's in pain or hurting, it's going to stop us in our tracks. So a big part of that flow has to be connected with our body. Also, our values. I find my values kind of determine the movement of my river or the flow that I'm in. Whether I'm flowing this way or that way will very much be governed around my values and my truths and what's important to me. Also, how I feel is very much in alignment with my flow and my natural rhythm or my river of movement, my path at this time. So how I feel will definitely govern whether I'm in that river or out. Am I moving with my feelings? Remember, your feelings just want to be moving. They want to be in motion. So if we can allow ourselves to feel one feeling and allow it to move to the next. I've got a bug decided to just torpedo at my face. So if we allow ourselves to feel our way through our life a little bit more, in a more fluent way, then we're also moving in with that flow. Hi, Mum. Hi, Mum and Martin. My stepfather and my mother are watching, apparently. Sending you lots of love. So flowing with how we feel is definitely, for me, is an important part of that flow or that natural rhythm. And trusting my intuition. But my intuition speaks to me a lot through my feelings and how I feel in those moments. So we have our good days and our not so good days. How can we move with those feelings and those things that we deal with in our life? And going with the flow doesn't mean we're immune to challenges either. It just means that we can find our way around them usually a little bit easier. So I trust that makes sense. I'm going to get my drum here over now. This is one of my big drums, which won't even quite fit in the camera here. I'm going to play this for a few minutes to hold this space and perhaps help you consider or feel how you can slip a little bit further into the flow and what that means for you or your natural rhythm. What does that look like? How does that feel at this time? So if there's something more pressing that you need in these moments, then please put that, what I've talked about, aside and trust in your intuition and what feels important for you. So if you need healing or support or strength or whatever you might receive from the drum that's more of a priority for you, then please trust that. So I'm going to unpin my microphone because the microphone and the drum don't really mix very well when it's very close. So I'm going to just pin this to my smudge bowl and put it miles away so I can drum properly without rattling the microphone. So that means I'm not going to talk, so I better say what I need to say now before I move this. So just let yourself feel and allow the drum to touch you in parts of your body that want to be touched, if you like. There's nothing you can do wrong, so at the very least just listen and see what the drum stirs up for you. So I think that's all I really need to say. I'm going to put the microphone way over there and I'm going to drum. So enjoy. The cat can look after my microphone. Thank you. Just getting my microphone. Thank you. How are you feeling? I trust you enjoyed that bit of drumming. I was feeling a lot of strength and confidence that was being built in the sound and the energy of the drum, reminding us that we have the strength and the power and to find the courage and the confidence to get back into the flow in our life. But first of all, we need to establish what that is and how to define perhaps or what it feels like to be in the flow, where things are working out, things are flowing perhaps somewhat effortlessly, or we're dealing with and coping with things fairly well. So once we establish what our flow or our natural rhythm feels like or looks like, then we can take steps to get back into it. And I like to, when I'm feeling like I'm out of it, out of the flow or out of a sense of balance with myself or my life, I imagine it like a river, and I perhaps am on the river bank and actually sliding into the water and allowing myself to move with the natural current and the rhythm, the movement of the water. Sometimes we go through the rapids, sometimes the river moves a bit slower. That's part of the ebb and the flow and the movement of our life. Every day is never going to be the same. So as we get further into the flow, I've noticed it for me personally that I tend to be able to adjust myself better. So as things move faster or I go over some rapids, I can make some adjustments and flow over that perhaps a little bit better than I may have before. And if things slow down or I'm feeling a bit restful or not particularly motivated or active for some moments or some hours or days, then I can adjust and allow myself to accept that. So how can you accept or move a little bit more deeply with your natural rhythm? Thank you. Janice says, thank you. Really felt, hold on, it's so glary here. Thank you. Really felt left and right brain balancing, if that makes sense. Okay, great. So a balance in your brain. That's wonderful, Janice. Thank you. And lovely to see you too. Gail says, that was completely amazing, although I'm recenter and I have to get closer or I need glasses or something to stop the light here. That was completely amazing, although I'm recenter and pulled all of me back into me. I feel so much better than I have been in so long. That's great, Gail. Fantastic. And, you know, it's wonderful to be proactive in getting ourselves back into balance. I mean, we could really say that finding our flow or getting into our or getting into that natural rhythm might be another angle of looking at how we can get back into balance with ourselves. And it really is something that we can proactively do. I really feel that we can help ourselves more than we perhaps realise. Our mindset, for one, is going to pull us out of that balance or that flow sometimes quite easily. So if we can keep our mind thoughts in check and be really aware of what we're thinking and how we feel and find our ebb and flow, find our balance or natural rhythm, it can help so much. And it makes such a difference in our life, doesn't it? Deborah says, I imagine the same thing. Wonderful. Christine says, my head feels weird. Well, I trust it's weird in a good way. But it's quite common to actually have quite a physical experience with instruments like the drum, especially when we hold the intention for help or support, or in this case, recentering. So that's not uncommon. So just be okay with that. If it's a pain, of course, then perhaps look at, okay, why has this pain come up? But if it just feels weird and tingly, then that's quite normal. Some quite interesting things happen to our body when we're going through things like this. Maria says, thank you, appreciate so much, you always show up at the right time for me. Oh, thanks, Maria, I'm glad this has been helpful for you. And Charlotte says, I dozed off, very peaceful. That's wonderful. Yeah, it was a nice rhythm, wasn't it, that sort of moved in. Melissa, good morning, Melissa. Oops, we're going to have the cat sitting up here in the sun. Oh, look, I have to turn the camera a bit, don't I? We can't not have the cat in shot. Oh, we've got her body. Yeah, sorry, Melissa. Melissa says, I welcomed in rejuvenation, calmness and healing. That's great. Linda says, hello. Hi, Linda. Lovely to see you. Tammy says, feeling grounded in chakra clearing. So you did some chakra clearing. That's great. Yeah, I thought so, Gail. Thanks. Jerry says, hi, Linda. I love it how everyone just says hello to everyone. It's great. It's like a family here, a community, isn't it? It's beautiful. Alison says, feeling so very calm and re-centered. My voice is reverbing off this drum skin, so we'll move that away because it's a bit strange. Deborah says, sitting in my angel room, listening to the drum, and my cat came in and gave me so much love. And she has been very distant lately. Thanks from my Roxy. That's great, Deborah. That's so cool. Hi, Carol. You always arrive at the right time, don't you? Ibrahim, sorry Ibrahim if I'm not pronouncing your name correctly. Ibrahim says, I feel like when I do my music I'm in more flow. Yes, music, I find, because I do play musical instruments, not just the drum, but I'm in a concert band. So I'm very involved with music, and I do find that there is great flow that can be found in music. You know, the first thing that taught me about going with the flow was when I was hairdressing, because when you're hairdressing and when you're trained to be a hairdresser, there's 4 different haircuts basically that make up pretty much every hairstyle that can be. So there's 4 basic hair cutting techniques that you learn, and when you're training as an apprentice, or when I was training here as an apprentice, we had to plan out exactly how we were going to cut our model's hair, or whoever we were cutting hair for at the beginning. So we'd have to plan and say which style we were doing, or a combination of both. We'd have a little head on a piece of paper, and we had to draw like a 90-degree angle projection of the hair, like it was standing on end, and how that would look, what shape it would be, because that would determine some of these different hair cutting techniques that we would cut with. When I got more experienced, I had that foundation there, and I began cutting people's hair, like more of my own clients, if you like, regularly. I began to see that these kind of 4 styles, although great as a foundation, are not necessarily the good for everybody, because everybody's hair grows in a different way. Everyone's hair grows in a spiral, for one, from the crown. So we usually have one side that comes forward, one side that goes back, sometimes a cowlick here and a strange bit there, or a weird crown. So the hair and the way it grows, to me, would be a stronger influence to govern how I was going to cut someone's hair. So I started cutting people's hair in accordance with how their hair grew. And it made such a huge difference, because I noticed that people's hairstyles were lasting longer, like in shape longer, than if I was to just ignore the pattern and the way the hair grows and the thickness and density of the hair. If I was to ignore all those core things and just cut the hair based on these 4 principles, or these 4 techniques, then I wasn't cutting the hair as best as I could be, which was with its flow. So I thought a lot about that when I was hairdressing, and really looked at how I could freestyle a little bit more and cut the hair with the way it grows and the way it moves. So that was in the late 90s. I was exploring the flow. Yeah, let me just move down here with these comments. Lisa, hi Lisa. Lisa says, I loved what you did with mine. Thank you very much. Oh, yes, Lisa was... Lisa came to our last retreat in February, and I cut her hair, which I don't usually do, so don't think that if you come to a retreat you get a haircut from me. I have never done it before, and I probably never will do it again, but it just happened to be one of those things that we did at the time. So Lisa has had a haircut from me. Not many people do these days because I don't really cut hair much, except for my own or my immediate families. Jerry says, Leanne, I wish you could cut my hair. I'm going tomorrow to get it done. Yeah, my hairdressing days are long gone, but, you know. Deborah says, 43 years I've been cutting hair and I can attest to what you're saying. This is exactly how I cut. Yeah, it makes a difference, doesn't it? Yes, my cat is behind me. This is Puss. It's a very original name. She found us actually, well, she moved in with us about probably 6 years ago now, when she was our neighbour's cat, and our neighbour moved. I don't know where her neighbour moved to, but she moved with her cat, this cat and another cat. But the cats kept coming back, and this cat just stayed. So we've ended up she adopted us. So we call her Puss. Is she looking? No, she's not looking at the camera. She's just looking out over the backyard. So I trust you feel a bit better. I'm going to play the singing bell now to finish. And I trust that you feel good. It is so gorgeous here today. It's so nice and sunny. It's lovely. So I might play the singing bell now. This is my Tibetan singing bell. And I've taken the ringer out and I'm playing it this way. So just like when you listen to the drum, just allow yourself to listen to the sound of the bell. Try not to have any expectations, but just let yourself listen and receive what you might need in these moments. So I'm just going to play this for a moment or two and see how you feel. So take some really deep, big breaths and imagine perhaps breathing in the sound of the bell and allowing it to raise you up and lift you up in confidence and clarity and strength within yourself. Can you allow yourself to feel a little lighter or a little stronger, a little clearer right now? So thank you so much. So we're reminded on Friday, the 13th of April, to take steps to recenter and consider how we can get more in sync with our natural rhythm, our flow, or if you prefer to use the word balance or harmony. So how can we find that? This card's reminding us to let go of our struggles, let go of our need to make things right, or need to have things a certain way, or need for a certain outcome perhaps, and allow ourselves to just flow with what's presented. There's a butterfly, it's just landed there, it's just flown off though. And allow ourselves to transform who we are, that we are not victim to our stresses and our pressures, that we may have more of a choice in regards to how invested we are in that energy or that stuff or not. So thank you so much for joining me today. It's beautiful actually. So thank you. Today I've used my healing energy cards, which I tend to use for healing events. These have been completely created by me, and in fact we're having their 10th birthday next month. So I've got some surprise things that I'm organising for next month in relation to these cards. These are my baby. These are definitely our best-selling card deck. This is the third print run, and they're very popular. They speak for themselves. So, you know, once you work with them or hear about them or are drawn to them, they tend to be a really incredible support on our healing journey, our journey of self-improvement and improving who we are, so we can feel happier about ourselves and our life. Life is so precious, isn't it? So let's not waste a moment being stressed out or trying to force things. Let's try not to swim upstream so much and just let ourselves move with the current and move with the waters and the ebb and flow. That's right for us. So thank you so much. If you enjoyed the video, please hit the thumbs up button. Please show us some love. Please comment or share if you're inspired to. And if you'd like to connect more privately, just send us a message through our website. If you want to connect a bit deeper with my work, if you enjoy or connect with or resonate with my approach and my thoughts and my ways, there are options on my website where you can take your experience with my work deeper. Perhaps for you it might be working with the healing energy cards. That would be something that would definitely help you take your experience deeper if they resonate with you. But you can also order a piece of artwork, wear something that I've made, like a pendant, or drink your favourite cup of coffee or tea. I shouldn't say coffee. Your favourite cup of tea out of one of my cups that I've made. Or consider joining my Pillar of Light family, which is a fantastic way. That's probably the deepest way or the best way of really working with my work deeper. So if my work calls to you, if you feel that what I do can help support you, then please have a look on my website at templeofbalance.com.au. So thank you so much for joining me today. I trust you've enjoyed our time together. I will definitely make an effort to be back tomorrow to share some guidance for the weekend. So I look forward to connecting with you then. Have a fantastic Friday, and I'll connect with you again soon. Sending you lots of love from my heart to yours. Thanks for watching.